Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Mirror Double Duty. Now, this particular puzzle is essentially the debut. I'm fairly sure I haven't featured a puzzle from this particular constructor before, and I don't think I've personally played a puzzle from this particular constructor before. So, from Visumation, or Visumation, I think Visu is probably correct. And when you actually see it, I think it seems like it's a fairly well-named particular puzzle. It does talk about, well, I'm not going to say X's and V's. It is V's with just negative constraints on V's, nothing about X's today. So really looking forward to this particular puzzle. 97% rating as of the time of recording, so certainly amongst the highest we've featured recently. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Visumation and Mirror Double Duty. You can definitely see the mirror here down column 5. That is very clearly evident, and obviously the symmetrical construction, although the V's are clearly different. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. You know what that means. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column of course, and every 3x3 box. Then we have neighbouring digits on green lines must have a difference of at least 5. The green lines are also palindromes and must read the same in both directions, so hence the double duty and the mirror. So let's start with the obvious statement. If this cell is a 7, these two cells have to be 5 or more away, so 7, 8, or 9. If you say that this cell is an 8, for example, this cell would have to be 1, 2, or 3 to be 5 or more away. So remember German whisper lines, you have to have high digits, 6, 7, 8, 9, low digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you oscillate back and forth between the two. Furthermore, the palindrome, if this cell is a 2, well, this is the second cell on this green German whisper line from this direction. It would mean that this cell is a 2 because it is also a palindrome, and therefore the digits have to be the same. Right, digits separated by a V sum up to 5, and all V's are given. So if this cell is a 2, this would have to be a 3 to make sure that these two cells add up to 5. All V's being given means that none of these cells could be a 3, because there is no V, and any one of these being a 3 would have made these two cells sum up to 5, which breaks the puzzle. Last but not least, of course, we've got digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. So if this cell is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3. The way I'm going to play this is that that cannot be a 3, otherwise it would add up to a 5. So this would have to be a 1 in this particular case. No mention about all white dots being given, by the way. So I'm going to assume negative constraints don't apply here. So a 1 with a 2, where they're clearly consecutive without a white dot, I'm going to assume that's allowed under today's rule sets. As always, to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Right, so with German whisper lines that have V's on them, you always know where the low digits are. So this is very helpful to allow us to immediately put in the polarity of these puzzles. I'm going to go for a neutralish color today of yellow, because in a second I think it's going to make sense why I'm using yellow as opposed to blue for low digits. Obviously the ones in between have to be high digits. Once again, these have to be yellow. To be on V's, they have to be from 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then the alternate digits are high digits 6, 7, 8, or 9. Right, the reason I went for yellow is that I can go a bit further and say, of course, any two cells that add up to 5, they're either 1, 4 or they're 2, 3. What I can see in column 2 is that these two are different. So I'm going to say that this one here is blue, this one here is green. And of course, we're going to play in a second with the palindrome, but let's just color as much as we can. So obviously this is blue, means that this is green. Can't have 3 blues in the same row. 2 greens in here means that these two are blue. A green in here means that this is blue. 2 blues means this is green. Greens in columns 4 and 5 means that in this box, box 8, it has to be here in column 6, and it can't be consecutive, otherwise it would have a negative constraint that's broken. This has to be blue. And I'm sure we know what this is. Yeah, it's not green, of course. Yep, so that's blue. Right, the reason I kind of went with this neutral color for yellow is that in a second we're going to be able to replace all of these yellows with actual colors. So, for example, in box 1, This yellow, I've got 2 blues, that is definitely green. In here, in columns 7 and 8, I've got 2 blues of each. So this one is definitely green. Also means that this is definitely green. 2 greens in column 2, that is definitely blue. 2 greens in box 5, that is definitely blue. And I'm going to say I have now, actually this cell. I mean, I could probably use palindrome to figure out this cell. So that's definitely blue. And in fact, I've got 2 greens in box 4, so that was definitely blue. Right. What else am I going to say in here? I think I now have all the yellows sorted. So what I'm going to do is color them all, get rid of yellow, and yes, that is indeed the case. Right, time for some XV trickery. So you know how I like to do this. I'm going to use 2 letters, A and D. Think of them as algebraic substitutes for 1 and 4. I obviously don't know what they are, but I can do that. I also know from the palindrome that these 2 cells are the same. Not that I need to. A, D, A. You could have done that instead. This is green, so... Actually... Am I going to do... Sorry, I'm just pausing a second. I am going to abuse this and use the palindrome. This is the 4th digit. This is the 4th digit. It has to be the same. So I can do the following. D in here gives me A and D. I can probably... Oh yeah, all the blues are done. All the blues on the green German whisper lines and the V's are done, but obviously I can do a bit of Sudoku to clean up. A's, for example. That's an A. That's AD, AD, AD. I have AD, AD. I need a D in here, which is none of these. None of these. That's a D. AD in here, I need a D there somewhere, so none of these, according to Sudoku, of course. So that's D. And then A and D in here. No A's, no A's. That's... there you go. Thank you. And this is my last D. Right, let's do greens for a second now. So how am I going to do this? Yeah, let's go for it. B, C, B. Use the palindrome. B, C, B. Can I do better? No B's. Yep, that's B. That's no C, B, C, B. C in here, B there. B is there. I still need a C somewhere in this box. It's none of these. Can't be next to the B. That's C. C in box 1. It's got to be one of these 2 cells. Could be either. So I've done all the B's, haven't I? I've got 9 of them. Yes. So I just need to place the last couple of C's. So there is one in one of these 2 cells. Can't be here next to the B. That would create a V. And there's another one in there. The C's are lining up in columns 8 and 9. So the C's have to be one of these 2 cells, which can't be next to the B. So that's C. And then I'm not sure how we're going to disambiguate these 2. There's no negative constraint to stop any of them. So, okay. I mean, the D, we know it's not next to an A. We know it's not next to a B. It's either next to a C or a 5, of course. But I'm kind of wondering if it's now time to use the German whisper lines to start whittling down our options a bit. And I think the answer to that is probably. So I'll give you some examples of what I mean by reducing our options. This cell here can't be anything other than 8 or 9. Essentially, this is either 2-3 pair or a 1-4 pair. If it's, of course, a 1-4 pair, this would have to be a 9. If it's a 2-3 pair, I can get away with an 8. Same deduction in here. So in essence, whenever I have 2 greens or 2 yellows between the red digits between 2 of the same color, I can limit it quite a bit. When they're of different colors, because that could be 1 and 2, this could be 7, 8, or 9, as could this cell. This is 8 or 9. This is 8 or 9. Now, and this is 7, 8, or 9. Now, of course, a few of these, such as this cell here, that could actually be a 6. I could have a double 1 in here, so I'm not really going to pencil mark this. And these two could be 6s as well because they're next to Bs. So, I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like it's helped me much. Hang on, I've made a mistake. How's this B and this C? That's impossible. So I am definitely repeating the green digits. Excuse me. Let's try that again. So if that's B, that's also B, that's C. Dear oh dear, I am going to remove these. These two are still correct. This being green, this, so I'm going to leave these. That's C, therefore that's C. That's B, therefore that is C. That's B, that's C. That's C, that's B, that's C. That's all looking much better. Still, the C, I've got to get rid of that as well. C is none of these. C is not here. C is not there. That is C. C is none of these, so that is still a C. None of these are Bs. B is in one of these two cells, both of which seem valid. B is not here. B is not there. That is B, which means that's not B. That is B. How did I manage to mess this up so much the first time round? Right, so let's just double check what I've done now. Right, these are clearly not C's. B is in one of these two cells. So it's the B that's actually flipped round. I don't know where I made the mistake in my first time round, but kind of doesn't matter. So I've got 9 C's now, haven't I? Yeah, and I have 7 B's with a B X-wing in here. And this is now B or 5. Okay, much better. Right, this is still 7, 8, or 9. This is still 8 or 9. That could be still a 6. Let's think about it. That is the center digit, isn't it? Yes. So it's not like I have to repeat the 6 somewhere else. Maybe one thing that I should do, maybe, is color some of the reds, because I know some of them are the same digit because of the palindrome. Like, I've gotten to this point and I'm genuinely surprised about how little information I've actually kind of got on the screen to make me help to go forward. So I am going to do that. I'm going to call this orange, orange. Technically that could be orange, so I can't exactly eliminate any of them, but I can call these a different color because it's in the same box. So yes, that will be, I don't know, the purple red. The purple red cell can only be now in here, and then can only be in here. And we know it's 8 or 9. Okay. I feel like I should be able to do better than this. Then orange is one of these two cells, which is again not very much. Yeah, not quite as fruitful as I was hoping. Let's have a think about these two cells for a second. So for example, this cannot be 8, 9 because it would break the purple cell. It also can't be 7, 8, 9 because that would be 4 cells from 3 digits. So what I'm leaning towards is this is 5, 6, or 7. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. 7, 8, 9 breaks. 8, 9 breaks. 6, 7, 8 admittedly is actually okay. No, 7, 8 is not okay. We know that. So there is no 8 on this white Kropke dot. It is 5, 6, 7. There's a definite 6 in one of these two cells. Because it's either 5, 6 or 6, 7. I'm okay with that deduction. Right, this is not purple. The D is the one that's in the middle in here. So these two cells are the same. And therefore they are one of these two cells. Now it would be very helpful, like unimaginably helpful, if it's not orange, because then I would know that there's another 8-9 pair that is not purple and not orange, which would immediately give me 7, give me 5 and 6, etc., etc., etc. So like it would be an immense amount of progress for me if I can make that deduction somehow. I'm not sure I can. So we said there's a definite 6 in here, and it's joined with either 5 or 7. Go with me with this. So if it is 7, this would be 5. That much is obvious. If it is 5, 6, I don't think I've learned anything about the 7, 8, 9s, have I? So I'm not sure I can really label that particularly well. So these two are some color. That's down here. And this cell, which could be orange, is none of these. None of these. Tricky puzzle. How are we doing? 15 minutes without a single digit placed yet. Now I'm being either incredibly thick, or it's time for me to start analyzing scenarios about these white Kropke dots to see if I can make some progress. And honestly, I can't think of anything better. So you see, purple is between A and D, and it's again between A and D on this side. Purple is none of these cells. Sudoku sleuth, come on. So purple is in here. Purple is down one of these 3 cells. More importantly, without them being any of these, it's on this white Kropke dot. And why is that interesting, you might say, is, well, we know it's not a 9 because the 8 is over here. So purple is actually 8, finally a digit. This is a 7-8 pair. And this is a 9. And this is definitely not 9. This is 9. I've broken something again. How did I break it? Yeah. I've made a mistake somewhere. This cell and this cell are the same. This cell and this cell are the same. Nothing said that this couldn't be 7. I don't know why I made that mistake. Right. Purple and purple. This is still correct. This is still purple. Purple has to be on the white Kropke dot. So purple is still 8. That is definite. That makes this 9. That makes this not 9 and not 8. So this has to be 7. This is a 7-8 pair, which tells me A and C are 1 and 2. Sorry, the reason this is very interesting, I'm trying to spot it. Nine is in one of these two cells. Like, ignore that for a second. A is 1 or 2. A and C are 1 and 2 because of this 7. Meaning D and B are 3 and 4. So D is 3 or 4, which means that can't possibly be 7. Sorry, that can't possibly be 7. So that is 9. So orange is 9. And yes, that is a 3-4 pair. So that was always forcing a 9 up here. So orange is 9. I don't know if I need the colors anymore, by the way, but you know, I feel like I've definitely earned them. So I'm sticking. And where do I go from here? D is 1 or 2. So it can't possibly connect to a 5. It is connecting to a B. I'm sorry, just my keyboard shortcuts are all over the place today, which obviously gives me what I'm after. And what I make gives me what I'm after. Can I actually double click these? I think I can. I just need to select the right one. So C, so essentially this would have to be the 2 to be able to connect to a 3. So D is 2, A is 1, B's are 3's, and C's are... I'm so sorry, I've made another mistake again. What are you doing, Sleuth? Seriously. The C and A are 1 and 2. D is 3 or 4. Which admittedly doesn't help me with my B. Because we know that B and D are indeed consecutive. And potentially as is the 5. So I haven't helped myself there. However, this D tells me everything that I need, doesn't it? D has to be 3 because it's next to an 8. Right. So I can do this. That is 3. And therefore this is B. 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 And actually they're 4s. And I'm just going to get rid of all of the letters now. And therefore the C's are the 1s, the A's are the 2s. This is not a 9 anymore. This is my 5 or 7 because the 6 is connecting these two. And that is a tremendous amount of progress all of a sudden. Finally. Right, where do I go from here? 5, 6, 7. Essentially this cell is this cell. I think it is now down entirely to Sudoku, isn't it? I know that these two cells are the same, but that's literally the only thing that's left now to do. Right, 5, 6 pair. So I had a window close on me. I'm just double checking that. Yeah, haven't broken the recording or anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is another 5, 6, 7. This is not helpful. This is not 7. It absolutely could be a 6 because it's next to a 1. Seven's not here. 7's not there. That is my 7. 7 is in one of these two cells, meaning this is 5 or 6. This is not a 9. This is not a 5 or 6. 9 is not here. That is my 9. This is my other 5 or 6. This is an 8-9 pair, making this an 8-9 pair, and it's not 9. So these are 8s. This is a 9. More 5, 6 pairs. 5, 6, 7, not a 7. That's 5, 6. That's my only 7. That's my 6. That's my 5. That is huge. That gives me 5, 6, 5, 7, 6, 5, 5, 5, 6. I can type. 7 or 8 can only be 7. 8, 7, 5 or 6. Well, hang on. That's 6, 5, 6. And suddenly, a tremendous amount of progress. Down here, we need 5 and 8. That's my 8. That's my 5. 6 and 9. Not resolved. 6, I'm going to say. 5, 6, 9, 6. A known digit, 9. And then 5. And if I've not made any other silly mistakes, 7 for the... Oh, hang on. Excuse me. 7 for the finish. It is a beautiful puzzle, Visumation. And really, really enjoyed it. Forget some ridiculous mistakes I was making throughout the solve, but still a reasonably approachable puzzle despite the 2-star difficulty rated. Hope you guys enjoyed it, both the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.